Let's go live now to London. Correspondent Natalie Powell is standing by to talk to us. President Ramaphosa, one of 53 leaders gathering in the British capital for that meeting. And as Natalie will tell us in just a moment, also on a mission to attract investment to South Africa. Natalie, I'm just looking at an interview, I think it was with the Financial Times that Ramaphosa gave overnight. And he was saying that my main blueprint is to get investments going, because one of the reasons we, in other words, South Africa, are in this low growth environment is a lack of investment, both internal and external. He's hoping to raise over R1 trillion, and the charm offensive is well underway.
Oh, it certainly is. In fact, it started from the very moment that the President touched down here in London on Tuesday. Of course, he has had several meetings leading up to today, which is the official opening of the Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting, of course. On the sidelines of this event, bilateral meetings, meeting with UK Prime Minister Theresa May, securing in that meeting 850 million rands worth of funding in order to increase business activity and try to encourage investment into the country as well. He also met with a number of business leaders and international investors, again on the sidelines of this summit, of course, and trying to calm any concerns that they may have, particularly over the land expropriation without compensation issue, and really trying to encourage those investors that it is a new era for South Africa, that he and his government are welcoming in, and with a stable government and basic infrastructure in the country, that is a good place for them to put down their money. So that's really been his sales pitch throughout the time here. We are expecting him to speak, of course, in the opening session of this Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting. Each leader that is here will be given the opportunity to give opening remarks, and it's very likely, of course, Jeremy, that in that he will talk once again about South Africa's search for investment.
Let's make no mistake, though, Natalie, there are 52 other leaders that are competing for investment as well. He's got a tough job ahead of him.
He certainly has a very tough who's attending, as you said, are trying to do the same thing, are here competing for that business, are also meeting with business leaders on the sidelines of this summit as well. So a lot of work ahead to explain to investors why South Africa is the best choice for them to put down their money in the country. Of course, we've seen a rather weak growth over the past few years, and investment will be key, according to the President, to try to essentially bring South Africa out of that and into a better era. And certainly the UK government to be behind him. They want to give this funding to him in order to lift many of the poorest people out of poverty by increasing job opportunities and other employment opportunities in the country, and using that funding to do so as well. But as you've said, a really tough job ahead, given that so many of the other Commonwealth leaders and their delegates will of course be here touting for the same business.
Natalie, as you're talking to us, we're also running a picture of Queen Elizabeth opening the gathering a little earlier this morning. And I was detecting, when I was looking at it, a degree of poignancy there, because the Commonwealth is something that was not only very close to her, but also to her father. But of late, as she gets older, there is some talk about Prince Charles perhaps taking over leadership of the Commonwealth sooner rather than later, or in fact not at all. And this must have weighed, I imagine, on her mind.
Absolutely. We know that the Commonwealth is something that's very close to her heart. In that speech today, she welcomed the leaders, saying, "Welcome to my home, welcome to Buckingham Palace, my home." And we know that she's met with many of them, including President Ramaphosa at Windsor Castle as well, her other to her heart. It's very likely this will be the CHOGM Commonwealth Heads of meeting that the Queen will attend. We've seen her withdrawing from these official duties. She is in her 90s, so it makes sense. And of course, she's not travelling as much as she used to. So it's unlikely then that after this event, she is going to travel to any more of them. As you've said, Prince Charles is looking to succeed her in this. There will be a vote on Friday, actually, Jeremy, on whether he will succeed her, on who will be her successor. And during her speech this morning, she spoke about how she wishes and hopes that they vote in Prince Charles to succeed her, given that the Commonwealth means not just to her, but to her son, and indeed, of course, it meant so much to her father, Prince Charles's grandfather.